What's up, YouTube? It's another day with the one and only Billy J. And this is my review of episode 5 of 13 Reasons Why, now on Netflix. And this episode begins at the winter formal, but it's revealed to be Clay's dream.
It was all a dream!
I was tipped off when Clay rips off his jacket and throws it on the ground, and he and Hannah start dancing around like they're on Dancing with the Stars. I was like, there ain't no way this adorable guy is putting on these moves. And he's acting smooth like butter. Then it's revealed to obviously be a nightmare when he's dancing with Hannah and all of a sudden she's bleeding from her arms and she's calling for help, and obviously all the other students disappear, and then Courtney comes up to help by stabbing Hannah in the back. And then Clay wakes up all sweaty. He then goes to wash his soaked sheets, and he runs into his mom downstairs and has the most awkward conversation.
Oh, honey, did you have an accident?
Did I? Jesus, Mom, no, I'm not 7. I got hot last night.
I can take those.
I know, I can do my own laundry. It's fine.
In 17 years, I've had no evidence that's true. I'm doing a load anyway.
And then for some reason, Clay decides that he's not going to shower anymore, and he goes on a little rant at breakfast.
I turned the water on just now, and I thought about it all, the whole thing. Taking clothes off, dealing with hair, and I couldn't do it. Look, we shower, like, every day, and it's just a lot.
Clay runs off from family breakfast back to Monet's, and where it's revealed that Courtney has 2 dads, called it, and Clay's parents aren't the only ones to have awkward conversations with their kids. One of Courtney's dads has a very awkward conversation.
Oh, maybe Marcus.
Oh, I do love that Marcus. He's a good one. He'd make beautiful babies.
Awkward. That's nothing you should say to your adopted underage daughter. At school, Tyler is getting bullied by other students, all thanks to that picture that went around, thanks to Clay. And apparently Clay has no remorse. And as the kids would say nowadays, he gives 0 fucks. And in fact, Clay claims that he's gonna bring justice to anyone else on the tapes. In a flashback, we find the reason Clay even went to the winter formal was because he lost a bet to Jeff, the kid he was tutoring, and so Jeff apparently got a better grade than Clay said he was going to get, so he has to go to the winter formal. And Hannah shows up to the sign-in area, which is being helmed by Courtney and the popular girls. Hannah wasn't going to go to the winter formal, but they kind of pressure her into going. And Clay kind of awkwardly says that she should go. You know, in his adorable way. Justin confronts Clay about the picture he sent out about Tyler. And he warns Clay that he's not just involving the people on the tapes, he's involving the entire school. And he needs to shut it down. He also tells Clay that if they go down, Clay goes down. In a flashback, some of the students are trying to figure out the identity of the 2 girls kissing in the photo. They believe one of the girls was a known lesbian named Laura. And this flashback of a memory upsets current day Courtney, and she runs off to the office. And while in the office, Clay's mom comes in and starts talking to the principal. And in their conversation, the principal reveals that they had lost 2 students in the span of 2 months. That's terrible. I wonder if we find out who the other student is. We think she's there to talk to the principal about Clay, since he's very distracted, he goes off in the middle of the night, he's changing his habits, drinking and lying. And then she pulls out a notebook and starts asking some questions and taking down notes. She's a very thorough mom because she was taking notes in a previous episode with the parent-teacher meeting about teen suicide. Next door, Counselor Porter is talking with Tyler about being bullied and teased by the other students. Then, Counselor Porter seems to be victim blaming Tyler by asking Tyler what he can do to change the situation, and asking Tyler what he's doing to provoke the other students to pants him. And how come no one brings up the fact that this photo might be considered child pornography? At lunch, Jessica and part of the jock crew are trying to figure out how far along Clay is on the tapes. And they feel if Clay would get to his tape, that his whole attitude would change. And Jessica is concerned about Clay believing Hannah's lies about the party. Courtney then joins the Legion of Doom and drops a bombshell in revealing that Clay's mom was talking to the principal. And they begin to speculate whether or not Clay told his mom about the tapes. Tyler sees the Legion of Doom forming and decides that he wants to join, and when he comes over, he's blown off by Courtney, and he's threatened with a broken arm by the Asian jock. Poor Tyler. I have a bold prediction in that something significant is going to happen with Tyler. Perhaps Tyler is going to kill himself, or he's going to kill somebody else, or even multiple people like in a school shooting. And then Courtney claims that she's going to deal with Clay quietly. Hannah ambushes Courtney at lunch one day, then the popular girls show up, and they continue to try to convince Hannah in going to the winter formal. Which apparently worked because in the very next scene, Hannah is seen talking to her parents about going in on a limo to go to the winter formal. Hannah's mom says that they can't afford a limo, so her dad takes it upon himself to take out a new lease on the vehicle and get an upgrade to a newer Jeep Cherokee. And he lets his 16-year-old daughter take the brand new car to the school dance. Did anyone else think that Hannah was going to wreck the car on the way to the dance, or something else happened? The girls arrive to the dance and exit the vehicle, but to note, Hannah left the headlights on. At the dance, Tyler is going around taking pictures of everybody, and he takes a picture of Hannah, and she basically warns him about taking pictures of her. Jessica is there at the school dance as well, and she stops Hannah and has a little chit chat with her, and apparently this is the first time they've been talking since the slapping incident. Jessica came alone because she and Alex had broken up, and right on cue, over comes Alex to talk to Jessica. Alex apologizes to Jessica for the list and everything like that, and then he claims that he loves Jessica. Don't worry, Alex. I thought I loved a girl in high school too. It's okay. The jock crew show up, and of course, Bryce is a big douche. And Justin starts sweet-talking Jessica, so this must be the beginning of their relationship. Bryce brings in Hannah and Courtney and brings up the photo, and he says he's identified the girls to be them in the photo, which obviously wasn't very difficult. But didn't Hannah claim that nobody identified the people in the photo?
Funny thing is, no one ever found out it was us.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Anyway, the DJ of the dance is of course Tony, because Tony is in his mid-20s and way out of high school. And is Tony gay too? He was up there DJing, and the obviously gay student reporter was up there kind of hitting on him, and Tony was just, playing along and touching his chest. Anyway, Clay is being himself and being a wallflower and sitting on the bleachers, and Jeff goes over and edges him to go ask Hannah to dance. So they meet in the middle, and they adorably dance to whatever songs, and yeah, if you want to call this dancing. And the newest member of the jock crew is a guy named Monty, and he shows up and he dances with Courtney. And he brings up the photo with Courtney and says that he knows that it was her and Hannah in the photo. And Courtney denies it and then whispers some juicy gossip in his ear. Meanwhile, Justin and Jessica are getting smashed. Then DJ Tony decides to slow things down with The Night We Met by Lord Huron. And Clay and Hannah are slow dancing, awkwardly mind you because he's adorkable, and they're just about to kiss when they're interrupted by Jessica's uncontrollable cackling. Hannah storms off to go take care of Jessica when she's blocked by Monty. And Monty reveals that Courtney told him that it was Hannah and Laura, the known lesbian, in that picture. Then he claims that Justin fingered Hannah and then she went down on Justin. Obviously upset and angry, Hannah confronts Courtney out in the hallway. She tells Courtney that what she did was fucked up and that she's not going to be her shield to hide behind because Courtney doesn't like who she is. And then Hannah storms off to go get Jessica. Current day, Clay goes up to Courtney after class and he tells her that he wants to talk because he's not doing so well emotionally and he wants to go skip school and go talk. Back at the school dance, Hannah drags off a drunk Jessica to take her home. As they're getting in the car, Jessica gushes about Justin to Hannah. Hannah warns Jessica about Justin and says that he's not very nice. Knowing what we know now, Justin obviously isn't a prince, but he isn't such a bad guy. Remember, Justin wasn't the one that sent the picture out to the entire school. That was Bryce. And he's not the one that bragged to Monty about fingering Hannah and a blowjob. I'm just saying. Then Jessica actually apologizes to Hannah for slapping her. Hannah forgives her and goes to start the Jeep, but of course, because she left her headlights on, the battery is dead. Clay and Courtney go off on a little road trip in the middle of school and decide to go to Hannah's grave. And of course, Clay's stalker Tony follows them there too. Clay confronts Courtney about her role in Hannah's suicide. And Courtney reveals that she feels so much societal pressures for her having two gay dads. Especially when she was younger, when it wasn't common or accepted to have two gay dads. And she's scared about what other people will think if she comes out of the closet. You know, what will people think? How will they interpret it? Will they say that her parents turned her gay or raised her gay? And then Courtney runs off upset, leaving Clay at the graveyard. Who bailed out Hannah with a jump? None other than Tony. And Tony jumped the car and then he gave her a copy of the mixtape, and the first song being the one that Hannah and Clay danced to, which of course was The Night We Met by Lord Huron. Tony comes to talk to Clay, and he also brings his bike and the cassette tape with the song that Hannah and Clay danced to. Clay expresses how upset he is for not being able to see and hang out with Hannah anymore, and he believes that people should pay for that. On his way home from the cemetery, Clay is abducted by Alex, Justin, and the Asian jock. Alex turns off the headlights and decides to speed through the streets, and he drives extremely fast and reckless until Clay promises not to reveal to anybody about the tapes. And they force Clay to promise to stop doing what he's doing. Clay promises to stop, but Alex continues to drive recklessly. All until the cop lights come on and he is pulled over. And who happens to be the cop? None other than Alex's dad. Justin is relieved that they're getting off with just a slap on the wrist, and Justin exclaims to Clay that they are now bulletproof. At home in the dark living room, Clay is listening to the song and his mom comes in to talk to him. She asks Clay about bullying at the school and specifically about Hannah Baker. and she reveals that she's been hired by the school to be a litigator for the case. And she says that the school is claiming that they had no prior knowledge to any bullying of Hannah. And once again, when she asks Clay about Hannah, Clay claims that he barely even knew her.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Why does Clay keep lying about knowing Hannah? That is my biggest gripe with this show and with the character of Clay. Why is he denying his friendship? He was obviously a big part of her life. They obviously went to school together and they worked together at the theater. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, and are you frustrated with Clay as well? Leave a comment down below, and remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Peace out, guys.